So today I'm going to show you how I did this to my face, because I did this to my face. I'm not really sure what it is, but I'm going to call it a cracked demon doll. Cracked demon doll, yeah, I think that fits pretty well. Anyway, let's get on with how I did it. So to begin with, these are horns. Exciting. I'm using Prose to stick them on, and then I'll leave it to go a bit tacky, and then I stick them to my head. Now the horns I made last year for Daisy's costume. I made them out of paper clay, and once they'd fully dried, I used eyeshadows, dark brown, medium brown, and then like a beige colour, beige yellow colour to sort of make them look realistic. And then I used a matte nail varnish to go over the top to seal in the eyeshadow so that it doesn't just rub off. And pretty easy to make. I could probably do a tutorial, but that won't be for now. I might make some reindeer horns around Christmas time and I'll show you how I do them. But it's basically just the same, except the reindeer horns will be bigger and more elaborate, so that'll be fun, something to look forward to. So now I'm using tissue paper dipped in flesh toned liquid latex, and I'm using that to make it look like the horns are erupting from my skin, going around and mushing it all in so that it joins nicely to my forehead. And then I'll lift the liquid latex tissue away from the horn a little bit, again to give it that sort of erupted look, so that it looks like they're pushing out through my skin and my skin has been torn apart and stretched where the horns have come through. I also managed to get some liquid latex on my hair, which was nice and painful to try and remove. So if you want to avoid that, unlike me, then put a little bit of Vaseline along your hairline, and that should make it easier to remove any latex that does get on them. Now that they're dry, I'm powdering them down to take away the shine of the latex and to make it easier for makeup to stick to the latex as well. And then I use Snazaroo Clown White, as I did with the Babadook. So just use that all over my face. Make sure I get into my hairline and right the way around the horns. And it looks messy as hell, but I use a Real Technique sponge to blend it all out and even it in, and to press it right into the skin so that it looks better. But yeah, I also at the moment have a very oily T-zone. I'm not sure whether it's because of the weather or whether it's because of hormonal changes or what, but when you are a little bit on the oilier side, the cream foundation doesn't want to stick very well. The Snazaroo is like, nope, and it goes patchy. So it's easy to sort out, just keep reapplying and blending until it's not patchy anymore. Takes a while, but it is worth it, because you don't want to be patchy for Halloween, or for any time really. I mean, who wants to be patchy? Not I. And then I'm blinging it? No, that's not the right word. I'm bringing it down my neck and putting it on my ears as well. If I was doing this for a night out, for like a party or anything, then I'd probably bring it down onto my chest and round the back of my neck, and probably even onto my hands and my arms. But that seemed like a waste, considering I'm only doing it for the video. So I didn't bother. I just did my ears and neck and face. But you can, if you do this. Not that you will, but if you do, you can bring it all the way down your chest and onto your arms. And if you can hear that beeping in the background, that's my washing machine. Isn't it annoying? And if you can't hear the beeping, I can. It's annoying. We should shut up. While I've got you, just say, feel free to like and subscribe. That'd be nice. I'd appreciate that. And you can leave a comment. Tell me that I still look patchy if you want. although that make me cry. But, you know, do what you want. It's up to you. Now I'm using a translucent powder to set the Snazaroo down. That was fun, wasn't it? And then I use Makeup Revolution Sugar and Spice Blush Palette. I use the pinky tones to create a very pink contour on my cheeks, and then I use a smaller brush to put that around my horns to give them a sort of painful look, like they're sort of slightly bruised and a bit painful to look at. Makes it look more like they've just erupted out of my head. I also use the Flawless 3 palette from Makeup Revolution. I use the sort of orangey toned red, and then there's some more pinkier reds, and I use them just for a bit of extra detail around the horns. And I also use a little bit of that on my contour as well. I use 3 palettes from Makeup Revolution for this, so that's fun. Nice and cheap. So if you want to do this yourself, I mean, minus one of them, the other 2 are still available. And that would be the Flawless 3 and the Sugar and Spice Blush palette. I do also use the 144 matte palette from last Christmas, which I think they do still have, but I'm not entirely sure. So if they don't, I'm sorry, but I mean, I only use a black and 2 greys from that palette, so if you can find a black, a sort of dark grey, and then a light grey in any other palettes, then just use them. They'll do the same job. That's all I used them for. I also use a little bit of a tan colour as well to sort of help with the shading from around the contour into the white, so that it looks a bit more blended. But I think that was from the Flawless 3 palette, so that's okay. Easy to get. Now I'm using some of the black to deepen the contour. Just using a fluffy eyeshadow brush, because I don't want it to be the whole contour, I just want it to deepen a bit. And using the same black on my eyes now, using a flat brush. And I'm being quite neat about it, but it doesn't really matter, just pat it all over your lid, because you'll then be blending out with the dark medium grey and then the light grey in a bit to sort of hollow out the eyes and make them look blended. So you don't have to be particularly neat with the black or the grey really, just smudge it all over the place. See, now I'm using the grey, the dark grey, and bringing out the blackness of my eyes that matches the blackness of my soul. Just messily fluff it all out all over the place with a fluffy brush. Because again, it doesn't need to be neat, so you don't really need to use any precision eye tools. Just use a really big fluffy eyeshadow brush and just blend it all over the place. Blend it all over the place. And now I'm using the lighter grey to blend it even more. And doing the same under my eyes, starting off with the black and then going in with the dark grey and blending it all out and getting it all over the place. Because that's basically all you've got to do. Just get it all over the place and you're sorted. Now I'm using the light grey on a fluffy brush to contour my nose. You don't have to do this, but if you want to, you know, it helps. Because we're going for a sort of doll-like look, so we want our nose to look very buttony. I mean, to be fair, I don't really... I've got a very wide nose, so I wanted my nose to look a lot thinner. And then, even though my nose is quite, I wouldn't say buttony, but sort of upturned anyway, I wanted to make it look more so. So, after I've gone in with the pencil brush to define the contour along the sides, I use that same fluffy brush with no extra eyeshadow on to just bring the contour across the top of my nose to give it the little buttony pertness. Now I'm using a very thin, this was a nail brush for nail art that I cut down. I now use for little doofy bits like this of makeup. And I'm just bringing it out in thin lines from the eye, very shakily, sort of all over the place, so that it looks like cracks. Try not to do it too straight, and try not to be too sort of... Just sort of do what you feel like. Imagine it's like the arms of a tree, and all the cracks branch out from each other, and just do it like... God, I sounded like Bob Ross then, didn't I? Just put a happy little tree. Don't do a happy little tree. You don't want a happy little tree on your face for Halloween. I mean, you might. That would probably look quite good, but not with this look. Wouldn't go with this look. But yeah, just branch all the sort of cracks out from each other and make sure they're sort of jagged and uneven and unstraight. Bring them all down, right down your face. I mean, you don't have to. You can do what you want. You could do it on both sides. You could just do them in the up and down direction if you wanted, and then, you know, that'd also be a look. This is just what I did. And then I'm adding a bit more black to the socket to make my eye look a bit darker and to blend in the cracks a bit more. I do the same to the other eye as well. And I also go over the cracks a little bit to sort of... This makes them a bit softer, which then if you go over again, which I do, it defines them and just gives them a bit more depth, gives them a bit more sort of... Yeah, depth. Makes them look a bit more real. And I am putting on black lip liner over my lips in a sort of small doll shape. So you want to not do your full lips, you want to sort of bring it in a bit so that it makes your mouth look smaller sideways and make the cupid's bow more pointy. And then I use black eyeliner on my waterline and my tight line. And here we go, doing a bit more defining of the lines, making them look a bit more deep. Do you know what? I'm quite good with words, but whenever I sit down to do the voiceover for these videos, it's like my complete comprehension of the English language just falls out my arse. But yeah, just going over them. Make them a bit more defined. You can add a bit more as well at this point. Well, you don't have to, but you can. And now mascara. I decided to use Moly Circle Lens Volumizing Mascara. It's probably one of my favourites. Get it off eBay, it's about £4. not very expensive, but it is a really, really, really good mascara. And then I'm putting some giant false eyelashes on. Not that I need to, because, you know, my eyes are black, so you can't really see them. But they made me feel better, so I did it anyway. Feel a bit more glamorous with them on. And I really need to sort out when I'm putting lipstick and stuff on to be able to actually be in shot. Might help actually show you what I'm doing. But, you know, most people know how to put on eyelashes, I think, now. I mean, I only learned about 6 months ago. There we go, all done. Like and subscribe, as I said. This is the finished look. Leave a comment, or don't. Do whatever you want. But yeah, this has been my video. I've enjoyed making it for you. Hope you enjoyed it too.